Is it possible?
No question can be solved on the same level of consciousness that created it. So vapor has got more freedom than water. Water has got more freedom than ice cube.
Yes. The only problem that I see in modernity, at least in the circle that I represent, and it is a wide circle, of a circle of the well-fed, who do not have to worry about basic things in life, is misery, mental misery. Now, what is mental misery? Mental misery is our thoughts biting us. Now, usually in loops. What are those thoughts about? They are about something that has happened in the past or something that may happen in the future, such as in the past, loss of someone, or somebody may have said something, or we may have done something, or in the future, usually it's fear or anxiety related to children, related to profession, related to health, our own or of dear ones. All these possible happenings in the future or past happenings manifest in the present in terms of thoughts that bite, and that is misery. Many of the things in life are not avoidable, they will happen. The question is it possible to live modern life fully and not have or at least minimum biting thoughts regardless of the situation? Traditionally, religions with their faiths and rituals, gods, eternal souls, prayers, chanting, offer a framework to mitigate many of these issues. But many of us in the modernity lack that. So I wondered, is there a solution? In my 40 years of professional life, or even more than that, I have met thousands of people of 4 continents. And I have met only 2 who are in stable peace regardless of the situation. Nitin Ram is one of them. And I thought I should ask him, on behalf of many of us, whether such a life is possible. Well, it's possible according to me. I see him doing that. The question is whether it is possible for us, the rest of us, to have that kind of life. And if yes, how? This is the question. That is a question that will take perhaps many minutes or many hours to explain. But I thought if I ask him that question and he has graciously agreed to answer, it will provide us with a background introduction for further questions that I would like to ask him on behalf of many. So, Nitin Ram, can the rest of us be like you? As in, no matter what, I have seen you over 15 years, a lot of things happen in life, and I distinctly remember even your surgery before and after. I have never seen anybody not just unaffected, but cheerful. Is it possible for the rest of us to learn? I know you share your experience with many people through your resorts, and you have given talks at various places such as Baba Atomic Research Center, and you used to have question and answer with scientists there years ago. But is it possible to have life like yours for the rest of us?
Yeah. Hi, Nikhil.
Yeah.
Thank you for a wonderful question and a fundamental question which I feel should be addressed so that more and more people should start living the way I'm blessed to be living for last more than 15 years. So the first question, answer to the question is yes, it is possible. And I feel like the experience of life that I have been having since post 2008, even I never knew that something like this is possible. And from 2000 to 2008, when I was searching for something which I did not know what I was searching for, but something changed, something shifted permanently in 2008, and post that I have been sharing my experiences, my joy, the peace with those who are looking for it. So I love meeting people, new people, and having such a kind of questions that you asked. That is it possible? Of course, it is possible. And a fundamental answer I would like to say, a broader answer, I saw it in science. Like when I read few years ago, I read a quote by Albert Einstein that no question or no problem can be solved on the same level of consciousness that created it. So a fundamental question, for a fundamental question like this, that is it possible to live peacefully while doing anything and everything that we want to do? So while living the material life, is it possible to stay anchored or to stay with that stillness, with that peace? There are so many names that we can give it to it. Right. Each one individual has got a different name. Somebody will say it happiness, somebody will say inner peace, somebody will say it stillness, somebody will say it truth. So I found a very interesting thing, and which is a reality, which Einstein has said many years ago. I'll repeat it again, that no question or no issue can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it.
What do you mean by consciousness here, by level of consciousness?
Yeah. For that, basically, we may have to go a little deeper, into what I mean by level of consciousness. Okay. Before going to level of consciousness, I can say we all know the physical levels of, like, the life is transcendental. So there are physical levels which are changing. Like say for example, like at some point of time we were child, right? Then we became adult. Then we are going older and older. So a childhood is one thing, then adulthood when we are young, and then old age. So physically we can say that we have got these three phases. Each human being has got these three phases. Similarly, if I can give you an example, in order to understand different levels of consciousness, we can first understand what are the different levels of states, physical states, different levels that we have. An analogy I would like to give you is an ice cube. Imagine an ice cube, solidified water, right? So the first level of a physical existence is like an ice cube. So ice cubes are kept in a refrigerator. So the kind of comfort that ice cube has got, so the ice cube will remain in a refrigerator for years together. The more and more the ice cube will remain in that comfort zone, the amount of freedom that it has will be limited. So the first state of physical existence is an ice cube kind of a state. Okay. The next state than the ice cube state is water. Right. So ice cube in a comfort zone, then water. So water has got definitely a better freedom than ice cube.
It flows.
It flows. Or rather, if I can say that if ice cube has to reach every nook and corner of this place, is it possible? How far the ice cube can reach in this hall? So when it becomes water, the water will be able to reach, or we can say that water will have more freedom than ice cube.
More freedom of movement.
Yes.
It can reach more places.
Yes, right. It can reach more places.
Right.
But when water turns to vapor, it will reach every nook and corner, a smallest of the smallest crevices. If we can understand that ice cube is the solidified state, a fluid state is water, and the third state is a vapor.
Yes.
So vapor has got more freedom of movement than water. Water has got more freedom than ice cube.
Yes.
So this is a physical, different levels of physical existence.
Right.
Now, when I said that different levels of consciousness, the consciousness, there are many ways we can look at it, like what are the different levels of consciousness. A simplest example I feel is all of us as a human being, since our childhood, we go through the 4 levels of consciousness. What I have seen is the first level of consciousness, that when we are young and we feel that, oh, mom is mine, even though we have more siblings also, but we feel that, okay, the dad is mine, the mom is mine, the sun is revolving, or the moon is revolving for me, the sun is rising for me. So that first state of consciousness, that all of us have gone through, or many are still there despite of their ages, is this for me state of consciousness, where we feel that the whole thing is happening for me. So in a way we can say it's a me-centered living. It's a me-centered living. Okay, I have this, I want to have this, I did not have this, I want to have this, I will have this, I am aspiring for this. So it's a I, small I-centered or a me-centered living that all of us have gone through. So this is the first level of consciousness I feel. And in my view, the majority of the world, say I can say in my view, it's around 95% of the human beings basically I find them self-restricted to this for me state, despite of their age. So this level of consciousness, which usually lasts from 0 to say 20 or 25, for many it goes on for life. So this is the first level of consciousness. The second level of consciousness, so there are basically a 4 level of consciousness I feel. In order to go to the next level of consciousness, as a common sense basically, like one has to let go of something. One has to let go of something to go to the next level of consciousness. Like, say we are in a elementary school or a primary school, and now you will be going to a middle level school. So how much ever you would have loved the classroom that you have been using, and the teachers and the bench mates that you had, and the beautiful picture from that classroom during the first few years, you will have to, in order to go to the next level of learning, you have to let go of all those things and go to the higher level of learning. So in the same way, in order to move from one level of consciousness to the other higher level of consciousness, or you can say that a banana has to abandon its green color in order to reach sweetness. Banana has to abandon the green color in order to reach sweetness. So in the same way, in order to move from the first primary level of consciousness, that's what I call is as a for me state, to the next state can be described as by me. So our life has started with a 0 to 20, say at the young age, as I said, I'll repeat it again, that it's a for me state. We feel that it's living for me. But the more and more like we are living, and then with this for me state, at every state I feel there are two options each individual will get, or choices, what we call it as a choices. The two choices will be that if you take one choice, you will move to the next level, where you get more freedom. To go to the next level, you will get more freedom. So if you take a higher choice, you will go to the next level of consciousness. If you stay with the first only and you are not ready to let go of things that you have enjoyed, then you will be again stuck with the first primary level of consciousness, and there are definitely the disadvantages or the sufferings followed by staying in the same level of consciousness. What happens with this first level of for me state, the people, they will get stuck up with this. A weak-minded, you can say a weak-minded, or those whose minds are not trained, they will sink to the level that to the what I call as a position as a why me kind of a, or a victimhood kind of a position. There are many in this first state who will fall to the victimhood state of a mental state, where they will feel that why this is happening to me, why life has done such a bad things for me. I have done so many good things for people, and still why I am suffering. And the person can fall down and miss the happiness of life or the opportunities that life has to offer you on a higher level. So that is what I call it as a victimhood state, and then from victimhood state, then it takes again a time to go to the next level. So with all these sufferings in this first state, if one has to rise above the first state, one has to let go of that habit of blaming others. The habit of blaming others, and if one is able to let go of that habit of blaming others, then the person gets the control, and the person can move to the next level of consciousness, which is by me. Usually all of us, when we are in between maybe 20s to 40s or so, when we want to build our career, we want to establish ourselves financially, socially, mentally, in relationships. So you go to the next level, and then you take control of the situations, and then you decide one thing, that now what may happen, I am going to have the responsibility of things that I am doing in my life. I am not going to blame anybody else, good or bad. If anything good happens with me, I will be responsible. If anything so-called bad happens with me, I will take the responsibility. So with that, our life starts between 20 to 40 approximately. Okay. So by doing that, it's a very tedious period of our life, very tedious. Like, there will be a lot of challenges. You must have a lot of courage. You must have basically a good willpower. You must have some aim in life. And then with that, and with your courage and your intelligence, and the intelligence you have collected from your learnings from schools and colleges and whatnot. So with that, what happens with this second stage, that in that second stage, a person gets some success. Somebody is happy with 50% success, somebody is happy with 80% or 90% success or whatever. So someone who gets good enough success, more than many others, that person at this stage has got chance of, again, gets the two opportunities. Two choices. A person with a good enough success may go high up and his ego gets bloated, and then he'll feel that, okay, I have done everything and nothing out of me, and I can do anything. So a person can go on an egoistic ride also, or somebody will settle there that this is enough for me. So this is the second level of consciousness. But somebody who wants to go to the next level of consciousness, where you are going to get more freedom, more and more freedom. So with this, you get an egoistic pleasure. But those pleasures, or sometimes you can call it happiness also, but those happinesses or the pleasures are dependent on something. You get a success, you get a scholarship, you get a big contract, you are happy, and after that, the quotient of happiness drops down, right? The quotient of happiness drops down, and then again you start running for it, and then you achieve the level of happiness, and again after some time the quotient of happiness goes down, or quotient of peace goes down. So what I mean to say is, in this state of consciousness, which is what I call it as a by me, in that by me you are happy, but your happiness is dependent on something or the other. So somebody who is happy with the dependent happiness, the whole world, like the most of the world, their journey stops here, in my opinion. It's an outward journey, it's a materialistic journey. But the third level of consciousness, where I feel a rare one who arrives in this by me state, who gets a good enough success, who lives his or her life sensitively, will have glimpses of life through the experiences, saying in a way that a person will get a glimpses, he realizes that I have not done anything for that success. Yes, I was there, but an example I would like to give, say a scientist like you, or maybe an artist, or somebody who is in an abstract, a musician maybe. A musician practices, a sitar player practices for a big concert for months together. And he has decided that, okay, I will be playing so and so raga in the concert. And when he goes there and he plays in the concert, what happens is that he realizes that something very beautiful happened through me, and I have not practiced it before. So when a sensitive person like this, he gets a glimpse of such a thing, that I have not done this, but despite of me, through me something has happened.
Yes.
So 1 in a million, I can say, out of all those who are in the by me state will have a sensitivity of life and who is able to capture this moment. And then the moment he captures that, he gets that glimpse of it, then he becomes more and more aware, and then he keeps on doing things before what he has been doing, but he will start getting more and more glimpses of such things, that something is happening through me. And then that person is ready to go to the next level of consciousness, which is through me. A third level of consciousness, which is through me. And at the moment the person transcends to the third level through me, again, as I said, one has to let go of something from the previous level. What is that? That one has to let go of for going to the through me level from by me level is the control. It's control. This is the most difficult thing to let go of something which is control. And that is the reason, in my opinion, the majority of people and their lives get stuck up till the second level only. The whole materialistic life, our materialistic life, these two levels are enough. But the third level, through me, as I said, you have to let go of control, and there the spiritual journey of a person, the inner journey, begins at the third level. So again, a 1 in a billion, as I said, moves to the level through me. In through me, that letting go of the control, by letting go of the control, by doing the same things, like you are working with your best of your abilities, best of your skills, best of your knowledge, best of your whatever that you have gathered over the years, and still living sensitively and doing things and at the same time realizing that something is happening through me, where you let go of the control and you get more and more freedom. The life is lighter. This is the third level. So after this third level, in my opinion, the person becomes spiritual, kind of. That's a different topic, maybe we'll talk about it. But a spirituality, inner journey, starts with this third level. And with this third level, then there is a last level, like from through me, one arrives at a final level, which I call it as a in me. Like in that state, the glimpses will be more and more in through me. The glimpses of things happening in your life through you, and with that, the journey, the whole life journey basically ends up with the realization that whatever I was searching for, whatever something eternal that I was searching for, was within me. So the journey of the human life with getting that eternal peace or eternal happiness, that ends with that level. So this is what I mean by 4 levels of consciousness. And in order to have more and more freedom, in order to have the peace or the happiness which is unlimited, the levels has to be different. That's what I mean by that.
Okay.
So another example maybe I'll give you. You can say a physical example I feel is like when we were all of us in mother's womb, say for 9 months as a fetus, and then the supply of food and everything was happening without us doing anything. Now we are comfortable there because we don't have to do anything. We are getting everything. In order to get a freedom of choice, like I want to eat this, I want to go here, I want to move here, I want to have a drink, I want to have milk. So in order to exercise the choices, is it possible for us to exercise those choices when we were in the mother's womb? So one has to come out of that, go to the next level, and then you are able to exercise those things. So that's what I mean, and I was trying to tell you that when Einstein says that no issue can be solved from the same level of consciousness which created it. You have to go to a higher level or a deeper level, both are same in whatever you would like to. You go on a higher level, then only you will be able to look at it, look at that, look at the issue and then sort it out. It doesn't have to do with the physical level. It can be a physical level, next physical level, or it can be a deeper level also. What do you mean by deeper level? Deeper level means most of the time our life or our life is basically a body-centric life that most of us are living, the body-centric life. Me, my body, my clothes, my education, my children, my success. So it's a body related basically. Okay, so one level is a body centric living, next level will be a body mind centric living, and there is another level which is a soul centric living. So these again it can be explained in different levels.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so if you want to sort out a body centric problems, you can't be in the body. You have to go, when you have any physical issue, you have a physical issue, all of us, anybody has got a physical issue, you go to an expert. Why do we go to an expert? Because he has got a certain expertise, certain knowledge, right? So he is on the next level. We don't solve our issues where we are. So that's what I feel has to be understood, that in order to understand that peace is possible or not, yes, it is possible, definitely possible.
Okay, so I think this was a great explanation. So if I have to summarize this, I would say that yes, there is hope even for the rest of us to be like Nitin in stable peace regardless of situation, which means the thoughts don't have to bite you all the time or even not at all. But it requires changing level of, as he calls it, consciousness from our original for me level where everything is centered around me to the next level whereby you take responsibility and hence control and do things whether they happen wrong or right. It is you don't blame others, you take the full responsibility for that and also taste the success that comes with it. But then to get to the next level, somewhere one starts realizing that many of these successes, although they have happened through me, things were happening that I was not aware of. Things were happening that came from nowhere. Whether if you are familiar with solving complicated puzzles, you work on it for a long time, nothing happens, then all of a sudden 2 days later something comes up. You said, how did it come? I didn't do it. Similarly, for work, designing protocols, algorithms, you do something and then 2 months later something comes up and the whole answer is in front of you, you didn't do anything. As more and more glimpses of such comes in, you go to the next level through me. Whatever things are happening, but earlier I thought I was doing them. That's not really the case. It is happening through me. And then the spiritual journey begins, which may take you to the final level where you find that whatever gives you peace, stability, has always been within you. Now the question that I would like to ask here on is that, okay, in case of a banana, as you gave an example of, the green banana turned into a yellow one, sweet one. It happened naturally.
Yeah.
In case of us human beings, it may be happening naturally, but there have to be factors that come into play that when the urge comes to go to the next level, we need pointers.
Yes.
This is where you go. This is what may take you there. We will come to that one by one later on as part of this flow. But now, after this broad answer to the question, the big question, I think that is the only question in life for all of us. While leading a normal life, is it possible to be in peace, not to be bitten by your own thoughts all the time, when the situation changes, yes, it's possible. It requires changing these levels, letting go of comforts of the earlier level to gain more freedom of the next level.
Yes.
It's a process, a journey, and how it happens is something that we will take up one by one next. But before we do that, I would, as I have gathered all these questions from a lot of people, I would like to seek your help in addressing some very concrete practical situations. One by one, I'll take 4 examples where they arise in our life. And not everybody is going to be at level 3 or 4. Being at level 1, 2, wishing to be at the higher levels, you still have to face these problems.
Yes.
And these problems are very practical, undeniable. And I'll go through them one by one as separate questions. Right? So this was the broad question that I hope has created the background, introduction, that will allow us to understand answers to the subsequent question, because we can refer back to this, back to this.